Okay, so I wanted to briefly show you how to get into Google and how to set up a Google Classroom. This is my main web page on my browser for my school computer, and you can see it's called the Redwoods. So if I wanted to just go to Google, first of all, I'll put it up here, and I'll put in Google, and I'll get the main Google page, and I can search for anything, as you all know. Probably all seen this before. And if I go here, and I have these Google sign-in, images, Google Docs, Google Maps, all these different things that I'll be able to do with Google. Actually, up here, you can already see that I have an account. I actually have two accounts at Google, so that I find that it makes it easier for me to switch back and forth and test things when I use them. But if I just wanted to go, if I went right to Google, and there I am, and I put in Google Classroom. Well, I didn't put in the right word, but there it is, Google Classroom, manage the classroom with ease. Open that up, and it's probably going to take me right to, nope, there it is. So here I am in a Google Classroom, and you're going to have to be in a Google account to start this. So here's Google Classroom, and this is what many of you will see if you haven't already started a classroom. And that's because I'm in my Gmail account. I set up our Google Classroom for this Work 201 class with my Redwoods account. So if I want to add this, I just go right here, and the information that the corporation puts out, I don't think it's accurate right now, and maybe it's because they're upgrading things so fast because they've had so many people using Google Classroom, obviously since the coronavirus crisis started really hitting us in March when we all had to go online. But if you just click on that right there, join class, and then if you put in the class code, which many of you have already done, you're going to get entry to my class, and that looks like this, Work 201. You'll join that class. I'm going to open that up right now. This is what it looks like for me. This is because I own the class, so it has stream people, classwork people, grades. You won't see this when you join the class as a person, as a student. So the stream is something, we'll see this too in Canvas. This is about the kind of flow of assignments and things that students should do, and you figure out how to connect with that and use that if you want. I set this up the way I like to set up my Canvas classroom, which is basically to just have modules going from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down from beginning to end, and then I've set things up within the modules, and you can see how that works. I'd like you all to go and kind of mess around in here and see if you haven't used it before. I know a lot of people who are signed up for this class have told me through the survey that they took that they're already using Google Classroom. So probably what we'll be doing with this is you'll be especially trying out new things with Google Classroom, and I expect a lot of you. I have not used Google Classroom for my classes before. I set this up for this specific class, but a lot of you have used them for class, and you'll be discovering a lot of new things. There's a lot you can do with this, and of course, when you want to get into your Google Classroom, when you get back into your account, you'll notice many of you have used this before. If you click on that little grid there, grid bar, the classroom is usually down at the bottom, and you can move that up to the very top if you'd like. Should be able to move it up. Well, let's see. Move it here. It's not quite as easy to work with as you'd like sometimes, but we can move it right up to the very top. You can even move it right up to the very front and center if you want to be using it a lot, and that's what I kind of like to do. So there's Google Classroom right there, and these are the modules, and it's very simple, very straightforward, and when we look at Canvas again in a little bit, I think you'll see that maybe Google Classroom is kept more simple because it's easier to manipulate and work with, but it also cannot do a lot of things that you can do with Canvas. But anyway, anytime you want to create something, you go right here. You can create an assignment, a quiz, a questionnaire. You can add material, and you can create a whole topic. And that's what these modules are, is they're topics. So if we wanted to create a new topic, we just click on topic, and then you add a topic. And I would put in here, I don't think I have this one yet, so I'm going to put in just to follow resource module, which is the last thing, something that I do have in our Work 201 class. I'm going to add that, and then when we look down here at the bottom, actually it'll probably come up near the top. There it is, resource module, and we can move this down, which would fit with the way I've done the rest of the things in class in our Canvas site for Work 201, and we'll have Module 5, and then the resource module will be at the bottom. So, and then whenever you create something, like say you want to create an assignment, it'll ask you to do the same sorts of things. Let's call the title of the assignment, what's called Working with LMS. You can put your instructions in here for things. You can add something from your Google Drive. And a lot of you have told me that you find this to be really useful because you can have all your materials in your Google Drive and simply bring them over. And I think that's very useful. Here's your link. You can add a link. You can add a new file. And you can even add a YouTube video. So I'm not going to do anything more. And you can assign it right over here. You would add assign. And it just creates this. There's nothing in there right now, but I just wanted to show you how to do this. And then you can move that into one of the modules just by moving it around. It's pretty simple. It's what you see is what you get, and the graphical interface works very well. And I'm going to ask you to go through and look at some of these things, and we'll talk about these in our discussion groups later. But this is basically an introduction to how to work with Google Classroom.